Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into one of the most common and, let's be honest, one of the riskiest ways to build a business, the partnership.
So have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas and thought, you know what, this would be so much easier, so much better if I just teamed up with someone? It's a powerful impulse, right? Whether it's a friend, a family member, that idea of joining forces is really compelling.
But here's the thing. That one decision could be the best thing you ever do, launching you to incredible success. Or it could be a complete and total disaster. And the difference? It's not about luck. It's all about how you set it up from day one. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how to do it the right way.
All right, let's start at the very beginning. What are we actually talking about when we say the word partnership? At its core, it's really simple. A partnership is just a business owned by two or more people. The key here is that you all agree to work together with one shared goal, to make a profit. You see this all the time with law firms, accounting groups, and even a lot of your favorite local family-run shops. And this right here, this really highlights the fundamental trade-off, doesn't it? If you go it alone as a sole trader, sure, you have all the control and you get all the profit, but you're also shouldering 100% of the risk. A partnership lets you pool your money, your skills, and share that risk. But, and this is key, you also have to be ready to share the rewards.
And that brings us perfectly to the pros and cons. Because teaming up has some huge advantages, but it also comes with some really serious pitfalls that you have to know about before you even think about jumping in.
Okay, let's start with the good stuff. Partnerships are usually way simpler and cheaper to get started. It's often easier to raise money, you get this fantastic blend of different skills and experience, and you're not carrying the entire workload on your own. It's literally the power of teamwork, built right into your business structure.
But then, there's the other side of the coin. You have to share the profits, of course. Disagreements are pretty much guaranteed to happen. Making decisions can take longer, but the biggest, scariest risk of them all is something called unlimited liability. This is huge. It means if the business racks up debt, creditors can come after your personal assets. We're talking your house, your car, everything could be on the line.
So how on earth do you protect yourself from all those potential nightmares, especially the arguments? Simple. You write a rule book before you even open for business.
I mean, this quote really says it all. You could have the most amazing business idea in the world, but if the partners can't get on the same page about the fundamentals, that business is probably toast. This is why having a formal agreement isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential.
And this document, the partnership agreement, is the single most important contract your business will ever have. Honestly, just think of it like a prenup for your company. It forces you to lay out all the rules of the game before there's a problem, while everyone is still friends and excited about the future.
And this agreement has to get into the nitty-gritty, especially about money. You have to decide right up front, how are we splitting profits? If one partner is doing way more work, do they get a salary? Are we paying interest on the money we initially put in? What are the rules for taking money out of the business? Getting all this stuff in writing will save you from a world of pain down the road. Okay, so you've got this fantastic agreement. Now what? How does that piece of paper actually translate into the company's books? Let's look at how you actually divide up the profits based on those rules you made.
For this, accountants use something called a profit and loss appropriation account. Now, I know it's a super long and official-sounding name. Don't worry about it. Its only job is to take the total profit the business made and show step-by-step how it gets carved up and handed out to the partners, all according to your agreement.
The easiest way to picture this is like a waterfall. You start at the very top with your total profit for the year. Then, as the money flows down, you make a few adjustments based on your rulebook. You might pull some out for a partner's salary or subtract some for interest payments. Whatever cash is left in the pool at the very bottom, that's what we call the residual profit, and that's the money that gets split up based on your agreed-upon ratio. Here's what that waterfall looks like with some actual numbers. Let's say you start with a $7,000 profit. After you make those adjustments, adding back a little interest and subtracting a salary and some more interest, you're left with $6,000. That $6,000 is the final pot of money that gets divided up between you and your partners. Okay, that makes sense for splitting up this year's profit, but what about the bigger picture? How do you keep track of what each partner's overall stake in the business is worth, as it grows or shrinks over time? Well, this is handled with two separate accounts, and it's really important to get the difference. First, you have the capital account. Think of this as the long-term stake. It's the money you put in at the very beginning, and it usually just sits there, unchanged. Then you have the current account. This is more like a short-term running tab for each partner. It tracks all the movement during the year, your share of the profits going in, any salary you take, any money you withdraw. It's constantly fluctuating.
And the balance in that current account tells a really clear story. If it's positive, great. It means you've left some of your earnings in the business. But if it goes into the negative, that's a red flag. It means you've actually taken more money out of the business than you were entitled to for that period.
So let's just quickly boil this all down. 1. Partnerships are all about sharing both the risk and the reward. 2. The partnership agreement is your absolute non-negotiable rulebook. 3. The appropriation account is the tool you use to make sure profits are divided fairly. And 4. Capital and current accounts are how you keep a crystal clear record of every partner's stake in the business.
Look, understanding all this is the first crucial step, but the real question is much more personal. When you really think about the skills, the money, and most importantly, the trust that's required, who would be your perfect business partner?